I wasn't super happy with that last example, so I'm going to do another one. We're given the graph of h prime, and we're supposed to sketch h of x if h of 1 is equal to 2. Well, before we start graphing, let's figure out what we know about the graph of h based on the graph of h prime. My brain automatically jumps to x equals 1, and that separates kind of into two halves. To the right of x equals 1, let's see, h prime of x is below the x-axis, which means h prime of x is less than 0. How do we translate that into a statement about h? The slope of h is negative. Well, for values greater than 1. Let's see if we can figure some more things out about h based on h prime. So to the left of 1, this graph, h prime, is above the x-axis, which means h prime is positive. So h is going to have a positive slope to the left of x equals 1. What about at x equals 1? What's the slope of h at x equals 1? Well, this is a graph of the slope of h. At 1, h has a slope of 0. This y value here is 0. So let's see if I can make a sketch of that. So first I'm going to start off with a point 1, 2. And I'm imagining drawing a horizontal tangent, although that doesn't really help. So let's decide. Is h going to go down? Is h going to go up? Or is h going to go horizontal? Well, we already said, since h prime is below the x-axis, h prime is negative, and the slope of h is negative, so I'm going to go downwards from there. What about to the left of 1? To the left of 1, h prime is above the x-axis, which means h prime is positive, so h is going to have a positive slope. We always look from left to right, so h is going to have a positive, positive, positive slope, have a slope of 0, and then negative, negative, negative slope, larger and larger and larger. We can do even more. This h prime of 2 is negative 1. What does that mean? That means the slope of h at 2, this graph I'm trying to draw, the slope of h at 2 should be negative 1. So as this graph crosses over x equals 2, the tangent line should be about negative 1. The slope of the tangent line should be about negative 1. Let's see. This point. That is, what is that? H of 0 is equal to 1. Oh, nope, not h. H prime of 0 is equal to 1. Which means the slope of h at 0 should be positive 1. So as h crosses over the y-axis, the slope of a tangent line to h should be about 1. Let's see. At negative 1, this graph h prime is 2, so h prime of negative 1 is 2. That translates to the slope of h, this graph we're trying to draw, at negative 1 should be 2. So at negative 1, the slope of the tangent line to h should be 2.